time. So a bit of a controversial video here, potentially. So the situation is, we've got two version 4s here, auto laces, and my version 3.1. Now the problem is, and you'll see it on prior videos, is the auto laces on one of the shoes. This is Stanley's shoes, one of them, this one here. I managed to reseat the laces and everything works exactly as it should do. Perfect. This one here, however, the lights work, battery's good, but the laces aren't fixable. So what's happened, a quick summary, is that there's a tiny little motor in the bottom attached to a gearbox, which is also attached to the lacing mechanism. And what's happened is, when the person who assembled this in China did the soldering, they literally cooked the hell out of the connections on the tiny little motor. So you'll see on this one here, it's really nice, neat, tiny little perfect solders. This one here, there's a ginormous blob of solder on each one, and they just overcooked it. And what's happened is the tiny little prong for like the negative side of the motor has just disintegrated and just completely come off, and it's nowhere, and it's just not there anymore. It's just, you know, dissolved effectively, leaving just the wire of a giant blob of solder, and that's it. So in order to be able to get the motor out, to have any chance of doing anything, obviously it's pressed onto the gearbox attached to the mechanism. You cannot get it in from there, because the motor is so close to the mechanism. There's zero room to get in there and do anything with it, and certainly not to be able to wear the shoe. So you have to be able to take this whole fabric piece off the lower piece, which obviously takes a lot of effort to make it look neat and to get the thing off in the first place. Get this whole thing off to better to reveal the mechanism, then you'd have the only chance of actually doing anything with it. But I did speak to Air Mag King, and you can't buy those parts separately from the factory at all. So that's a problem. The other problem, of course, as well, is you've then got the loom attached all the way around the back here up to the control board as well. So if you ever did take this piece here off, you know, you can't move it around very much, because obviously all the wires are so delicate. You know, you're just basically stuck. You know, so unfortunately, the mechanism on there is just cooked and it's gone. So the controversial part is, we're going to make these shoes wearable. This one here obviously is wearable as it is, but what we're going to do is we're probably going to do this thing for both of them. So we're going to remove these laces here. Off this side here, effectively I can just move the mechanism and pull these laces out with some skill. This side here obviously is bonded in, so I'll have to cut gently into the back side here in order to be able to release this side of the laces. And then it's not these exact laces, because these are a bit too thick. See, should be a bit thinner. And effectively I'm going to get the correct length laces and bond them in place. I'll probably bond them down to about a 1 inch either side. That means that then the owner can then wear this shoe using the lights, and you can get his foot in and out. Job done. Because you know, you have to have room to be able to get your foot in simply on a big shoe like this. The other side is the controversial bit. So once the side here is done, the owners wants me to do this side here as well. So obviously I'll double check with him before I do it, of course, but he wants both sides to match. And we know that the auto laces are basically pretty unreliable, and they're probably going to come out again, you know, and he's sent this all the way from America, costing money both ways on shipping. So, you know, it's a hard thing to do. It's a tough one, but I think it does make sense, you know, because once he's unraveled, it's a pain in the ass to get laces back in again. So I'll do this on here, double check with the owner. If he's happy, then I'll remove these laces here. Obviously, I'll leave all the mechanism in there, of course, and not touch that. The motor will still work, but I'll remove the laces and replace it with these. And that's the the controversial bit there. And then he'll have a nice set, a nice pair of shoes, which is like hybrids, you know, like version 4s, running fixed elastic laces. Cool. And there you go. That is it. So I'll update on a video too at the weekend when I've purchased the elastics and done the shoes.